Hey, friends and fam, I'm Nathan. Thanks for being here. Feeling compelled to discuss and share some reflections on emotions and the energy of the question why in context of our emotions. Um, I've had multiple evenings recently, and this is one of my practices that I've done for quite a while. But multiple evenings recently where I just sit and kind of feel through, like there's definitely things going on or happening throughout the course of the day that there's a lot of doing, living, speaking the life, doing the things of our life and or my life. And then I feel like there's sometimes I just also I need time to just feel and process the events of the life, right? And I just have, I just, I've noticed that I really love, there's times that I will just sit in silence and feel. Like I'll feel through conversations, feel through various happenings, feel through, just feel through the experience of the day. And yeah, I guess that's a version of meditation. Sitting in silence for me and feeling through emotions of the day is one of my versions of meditation, I'll call it. And like to the point, like last night and the night before last night, like I reached a point where like I was in full out bawling mode, and it felt amazing. Like I like to remind people that it's such a beautiful thing to feel. And like the feeling and rush of calm and peace that I have after those moments where I really allow myself the space to feel those feels is so, I don't know, I love it. It's very peaceful. And I have noticed that, for someone who has this, I showed this before, who has the question mark tattooed on my body, and I love questions. There's one question that I've learned I just don't really like to bring into the space of my emotions, especially, is the question of why. Um, I feel like so a lot of our life, a lot of my life, I like to speak more in just like my experience of my life. Everyone's experience is different. Everyone experiences a different version of what they feel life is, right? So, but my version of life that I am feeling through, living through, is feeling the emotions of the experience is a huge portion of what I'm doing here. And especially the emotions that feel like there's a stuck energy flow. Like I really feel like there's spaces in my life where I can really feel like kind of the flow of energy in that space, and can feel where like there's little like filters or blockages to the flow of the energy in those spaces. And especially when it comes to how I feel in this context of stories is where I'm going to go with this. So like stories, I feel like so much of life are stories that we create about what our life is, what we're doing in our life, other people, what we perceive as other people's stories, who they are, what they're doing, and our emotional responses to, or my emotional response to what I perceive as the experience of the life. And so in that context around stories, just really feeling like so much of our lives really are just stories, where it's part of, I really do like go to the algorithm programming concept, where I just feel like so much of our lives are just programming algorithms, looking at the code, feeling the code, seeing where you want to change the code, and of the algorithms. And I've noticed that in stories, a huge part of that, the stories we tell ourselves, especially, right? And I'm really huge on constantly trying to pay attention to the stories I'm telling myself. And trying to also, as I communicate to others too, trying to really be real with, if I'm not real with me, how can I be real with others, right? So really trying to keep grounded in that, what really does feel truest to me, and and if I'm trying to communicate anything to anybody else, trying to really feel into what feels real, right, true to me, and then making sure I also stay true to that, stay true to me in my communication to others. It's so easy for us to like bend to social situations and kind of shift things and statements to kind of blend in conversations that honestly, especially, I mean, there's so many contexts of conversations that I feel us humans kind of like to just kind of blend, merge, maybe, and aren't always being true to our core feels in various, especially various acquaintance style social situations, right? But anyway, I digress. Point is, the why question with emotions. Like, I don't want to ask why anymore. To me, the point is, with the stories point of this, is that for me, asking the question why creates a whole nother layer of story to the feel. And if I'm just there to feel, if there's just really a feel that I would like to flow, so that the feel is not trapped anymore. And as soon as the feel flows, it feels that's where the release for me comes, and the letting go and the real releases, the layers of the really real releases. And yeah, where I just feel truest to myself more and more is feeling those feels without questioning the feels, or adding more stories to those feels. And that's really where the question of why gets bothersome, because I feel like there's a fair amount of programming that I feel like I came up in, as far as like if you're not feeling good about this, or you're feeling frustrated, or you're feeling, especially the emotions that we consider like the negative emotions. Not really sure there is such a thing as a negative emotion. I think emotions are just a necessary part and tool of this existence here. But the stuff that just really feels like ass, the stuff that really sucks to feel, it does. That stuff. If I add more layers of why am I feeling this? Why do we feel? Why? I just feel like then this process tends to happen where you create more layers of different stories that don't necessarily belong in the space of that feel, and then ends up kind of turning into a denial of the feel for me, or what I've noticed in myself. If I question why too much into some of my feels, it'll divert and end up denying the feeling portion of the feel that really seems to be part of the main experience of the original story, life situation that was lived, that birthed the energy of the feel. Or that, I don't know, is that the right, even birth feels like the wrong, I mean, just that brought to light the energy of the feel that really needed to be felt for it to let go and release. Why ask why? Yeah. I don't know. So when it comes to our feels, what we really are really feeling in our life, why ask why? Why? Not sure it's that helpful. I don't know. That's just my experience. And my experience will change from time to time too. Sometimes there is the information of like, let's look into that more. But more often than not, I just want to let go of the why question and just feel it. Just feel. It's about right. Love you.